Right, so I'm back with another vlog, and I just want to talk about being to be Black British. Now, Black British people, Black nations of the world, such as the Caribbean and Africa, and if they live in the UK, they'll be known as Black British. Now, we're not really featured on the census. There really isn't even a box to tick. There really isn't. It's all divided up as in like Black Caribbean, Black African, but you'll never see a box that says Black British. And I find that so strange because I normally draw another box and I put Black British and then I tick it. Why do they not want a collective Black British identity? Because that's what we clearly are. We are Black British because we all identify with the black race and we clearly live in the UK, so that makes us British. The only difference is our colour. Why is it that they do not want us to have a Black British identity? We clearly are around. There's a lot of Black British people, but I feel like they don't want us to be a strong community. And, because we come from different parts, we still identify with a certain continent, which is Africa. So that makes us 100% Black British. If you're living in UK and you happen to be Black, you're Black British from Africa. Black British people have been around from the beginning of time when Africans have populated the earth. They were found in UK just the other day. Back in South London, they found a Roman princess, literally. This woman was a sister. She was one of us. She was a black girl. If she had Twitter, she would be on Black Twitter. She would be hashtagging melanin magic, you name it. She would be retweeting pictures and videos of, the latest black stars in the UK. She's one of, and she clearly is a Black British person. She was found near Elephant and Castle. The girl is from South London. She may be a princess, but she's still one of us. So, yeah, they found her that she was a Roman princess. So that clearly shows that there have been black people here from time ago. So our community, the Black British, should have been very strong because we had a presence here from time ago. I mean, we have like mines named after us in the north of England called the Moors, Moorland. Moors are black people. They're one of us. The crest, all the crest that you see that the upper class have, they have their little flag logos to represent their family. They have like black people as part of that crest because they know the roots of what that land came from or where their ancestor came from. So, I just wanted to speak about why is it that we're quick to pretend that there isn't a black British community, and if there is, it's not things are done to make sure that they're not strong or they're made to feel ashamed to be British, but they should represent, their ancestry. Well, I mean, we all know that ancestry all comes from Africa anyway. So, if you're here, you're Black British. Just deal with it, accept it, be proud of who you are. You are Black British. You are an African origin person who lives in the UK. And a long time ago, that used to be a colony of Africa. So I just think everybody needs to embrace their Black British ancestry, their culture, and just be proud of it. Do not be ashamed. That is what you are. You are Black British. So I just wanted to speak on that. And I'd also like to talk about this amazing hot weather. I feel like for a lot of black people, this is very much suited for us, black British people. The weather is perfect because of our complexion and we just are suited to this hot weather. So it's almost like God is making it easier for black British people to have a very hot weather. It would be nice if the climate changed like this. And maybe once upon a time, this land did have a hot climate like this. It probably did because of climate change. It would have been this humid and the inhabitants would have been black. So I just think now's the time to really embrace black British. We clearly see the African Americans embracing becoming African American. We see them in all sorts of position of power, but the black British are almost, at the bottom, and they're ignored and they're erased out of history when They clearly are part of UK history. Um, I was just thinking the other day, even like the universities, the oldest universities, were established by black people, blackamoors, they were established by them. And we have all these exclusively now white institutions such as Cambridge and Oxford. But if you go back in time when it was established during the Middle Ages, during the times of the Moors when they controlled the world, they were established by black Moors because they were the most learned, cleverest people around the world. They're the ones that had the knowledge. They understood the solar system and the stars because, black people, they had a good sense of direction because they're the first people to use the stars to find out where they are on Earth. So there is a rumor, like if you speak to a really old white person in the UK, they will say that, oh, black people can tell the time. Yeah, because they can tell the time because they're very much connected to the universe. Like they know what time it is by looking at the stars. They've got a good sense. They can just tell by the sun. So yeah, all that learned knowledge had to come from someone somewhere. Where did it come from? It came from Africans. So they're the ones that set up all these great universities in Europe. They were set up by black Moors, whether it's in Germany, Switzerland, France, and UK, as we clearly see, they are the ones that set up these amazing old universities like Cambridge and Oxford. And if you look at the buildings, there are statues of black British people, blackamoors, on the building itself. But again, that history is completely erased, and we have people, hardly any black people going to Cambridge or Oxford, and if they only knew the history that they established those great learned universities, it has to come from somewhere. The Moors from Timbuktu, the most richest kingdom of Africa, they set up. They wanted to do good for society, for the world, by setting up these universities when they went around conquering Europe. And that's why people should be very proud of being black British, because we are very much connected to this island. Um, in terms of the what is it, Stonehenge in the south, that was black people who created it. They done that to tell the time. The way it was set up, it was created by black British people, the original black British people that we see created that, built that to tell the time. So you should have a connection to this island because you are part of this island. This is part of your history. You're one of the original people. And just like the other day, the South London girl that was found in South London, Elephant and Castle, a Roman princess with all her jewellery and her finery, was clearly a black girl. She was one of us. If she had Twitter, she would be on Twitter hashtagging away, having outrage at things that she would be, you know, upset about, like Love Island, for example. She's one of us, but you don't see that on the news. You don't say, oh, black girl found in South London. All typical, because there's loads of black people in South London. They clearly are. So, if they knew their black British history, they would big it up. They would be proud to be black British. And that is what you are. If you are of African descent and you happen to be in England, you're black British. Just be proud of who you are. And if you see a form that doesn't have your identity on that piece of paper, you draw a box and you write black British and you tick it because that is what you are. So I just wanted to make a note of that. I am Miss Dorina Shooting Star. I have come back with another blog. I'll be back with more. I am out.